Okay, here comes version third video, but version 5682 of my garage design. And I have a few sticking points here I wanted to take you guys through as I'm designing this. That maybe you guys can give me some input, give me some help, and as I'm thinking through this. So my last video I talked about catching the vision of what I want the garage to be, and I woke up at about 3 a.m. last night wondering if maybe I should just see this again is the existing structure, this area right here. My thought process was that 3 a.m. was maybe I should just knock this whole thing down like some guys have suggested and start over. But I'm really liking this whole separate my trailer storage area from from the main garage. I just don't think I'll like having my trailer, my Trail X trailer that I plan on getting in in the main garage section. I just think it would grow tiresome looking at it. So I'll take you through where I'm at and what I'm thinking here. So if we start at this sort of the top section, let's move this over here and center this up here. So this is the biggest difference or biggest change that I've made to the design, in that I decided why not enclose this area. So now this is a little bit off, and that the roof line actually goes like this. I just don't I didn't want to spend hours trying to figure out how to do that. But remember, this is sort of the existing pole barn, and then this is the little lean-to that they had added on after the fact. So the garage door will actually be much closer to the roof. The roof actually comes sort of down, like I said, at an angle, but it's still a solid 9.5, 10 feet. So I can easily fit a traditional size garage door. And then the other thought was I wanted to complete. Let me give you a little different camera angle here. I wanted to complete I decided to just wall this in. It really can't cost that much. But rather than having my trailer sit outside, in order to make this so it wasn't so cavernous and sort of cave-like, I added some windows to this section. So again, this is the existing structure, the existing section of the pole barn that's sitting there. And let me show you that since I'm here. Let's go my Google Photos, and just to bring this into perspective. Let's see. Again, here's the structure, and so this is the section where I was intending on storing a trailer, and then this would be the wash area, and then I would wall this in and sort of bolt the garage onto the side of this. But instead, I'm going to sort of carry this through and make it so that this part. Sorry for I'm on slow Wi-Fi here. I'm not at my house. This section will sort of carry through the back side of the garage, if that makes sense. And again, it can't be that expensive to at least I hope not, to just add a wall onto there and bring it under air. I don't think I took any pictures from the other side. There's my original PowerPoint design. Let's see what else we got here. So you can see the the roof line here, and we would sort of drywall this in and probably square it off. I'm not sure, but this section here will easily fit a trailer, and we can easily fit at least a 7-foot door. The trailer is only the height of the trailer I think is it's under 7 feet. It's like 6'11", so it's designed to fit inside of a normal garage door. So we can talk about that in a little more specifics in a minute here. So let me go back to what do I want. I don't want QuickTime. I want this. So the trailer will in essence sit in a sort of hidden little back area where you can, we'll have this door here. So this section you'll be able to walk through and get back to the trailer. So I just really dig this idea. I know there's some wasted space here, but I really like the idea of sort of sectioning off and sort of hiding the trailer, but keeping it. I mean, we're talking about an expensive aluminum trailer, so keeping it inside, under air, accessible, and having this whole area that, if some point I ever wanted to put some cars back here, I could probably put another car behind the trailer. Anyway, that's a big change in what I was thinking of adding here. The other area that is super important to me that I've really decided I wanted to do this outdoors rather than indoors was the washing area. So I've done a sort of a hypothetical. Obviously, it's not a BMW, but this is the exact dimensions of my M3. So I don't think I would do red brick, but it'll be something. This will be block, and I'd like it to look cool. I don't know what I'd do here, but maybe I'll do some sort of brick like this, but make this the sort of pull-in washing area. And this again is what, 26, almost 27 feet deep, and then a solid 19 and a half feet wide. So in essence, what we would do is we'd take the wall, or take these these pillars and wall this in. So you'd probably pull down the pillars and frame this in. So this will all be framed. But yet this section, these are roughly 14-foot ceiling. I think it's 14. It might be 12 or 13. I need to get a tape measure out there and measure this section. It doesn't really matter. I mean, look at this giant RV. I mean, my car is only this tall, half as tall as this thing. So, the car will be sitting here. We'll have plenty of room to put fans and stuff up in here. So again, I thought a lot about putting a garage door out here, and walling this in, and then being able to sort of separate this out. But I just think I'd rather have it open. I'd rather have it open to there's just too many factors in creating an indoor or interior washing area versus having a block wall and having this sort of having a separate washing area. I'll put some fans in here because both of these walls are closed in. I won't have to worry about sun. The sun, I won't have to worry about sun during the day, so I'll be able to pull in far enough if I needed to. If the sun was rising in the morning, the sun will rise over here. But my whole key to this is that I want to be able to wash 24/7 anytime I want. I don't want to have to wait till night or morning to wash the car. So what I'm thinking in this area is I have the sort of hoses set up here, but I'll put a TV up above the door. Normally, I'm not a huge fan of TVs that are super high, but I don't want to have it over here getting hit with water, so I put the TV up here, and I'm going to have it set up with video switching so that I can have both TVs running the same thing, and then I'll probably just put some high-end, some solid outdoor speakers, just a stereo pair. And maybe figure something out, like an in-ceiling sub or something like that. And then this whole wall here, I'm intending to set up. This is where I'll have set up drying, and I'm still working on that. I think I talked to you guys about this, but this. Let me go here, and I'm gonna do a video on products and what I'm thinking. But to do something like this turbo dryer. Rather than using a leaf blower. This thing is the key for me is I think that having a boom pole in order to be able to sort of walk 360 degrees around the car would be really, really cool and really efficient, and make it so that washing the car was fun and not a big project. I don't have to get a bunch of stuff out. The other option is I mount the Master Blaster to the wall somewhere. Or even put it up in the attic and do some sort of actuated switch or something, and have again a boom pole where I can pull it down and dry the car. I've used one of these before, this Carolina Pride thing. There's a couple of companies that make these as turbo dryer, and it actually works really well. So this is something that, basically you're putting an electric leaf blower on the wall, and then the key is, I made a call to the company and they're going to call me back, but I don't want to do some quarter operated thing. I just want to make this a push button, make it push button operation. So I want that on the wall, and we're going to do some car washing boom poles. So I have 360-degree access. So let's see, what we're going to do here. Car washing boom pole. I think that's what they call it. Yeah, so we'll do a system where you basically put a boom on the wall, and then you can walk around. I obviously won't have a foam brush, but I can walk 360 degrees around the car with a pressure washer, and these things look something like is what you see at a car wash. There's some cool ones. This thing here is really the way it works. You have an arm where the pressure washing system, you route up through the attic, and then it will sort of come down and connect here, and then we'll be able to walk around the car in a 360-degree fashion. I don't think I need the 360 for the drying system. That will be more of sort of a 180-degree pattern. But who knows? So I think the drying area will be like this, so I can walk around the car, and I'll have to walk back around this way. I don't know. Who knows? We'll see. But I've got some work to do, some research to do on that. But tell me how cool it would be to have this thing set up to where I've got on the ceiling. I've got, able to walk around. I don't have to turn anything on or get anything out. I've got a hose and a bucket filler out here, so I can, clean the wheels however I want. So I have a traditional hose, a high pressure system, and then drying system all out here ready to go. Tell me that's not the dream. And when it's really nice out, after I'm done washing, after I'm drying, I can open up these doors and sort of open up the garage. I don't think, again, I want this wall to be sectioned off, so that way I can put crap on it. The equipment on it. So that's what I'm thinking right now. I just think that it'd be so cool to have that inside, walled off, no issues with sun, no issues with water getting inside the garage, but still I have the ability to sort of open this up. And even when I'm hosting, if I'm having people over at the garage hanging out, this can be an area where I can have chairs and sort of hang out outside, and we'll have audio and the whole thing. So I want to be able to open this whole thing up, but most of the time in Florida I want it closed so that we can have this as climate controlled. So that's the sort of the existing structure, and then again, this room already exists in the garage, or in the pole barn that's there. Shoot, let me go back to my photos here. And you can see this section already exists. So what I'm talking about is we knock this wall down, and then extend the wall out. I think I have another set of pictures of these. I took a little bit straight on pictures. Let's see here. I know I do somewhere. There we go. So again, we'll take this section, extend it all the way out, and then a wall will be on this side. So trailer will go in here. This will be washing area, and then put a traditional garage door on this section, and then obviously better lighting and a little different setup here. In fact, I may not have as much room as I think to put a TV here, so I might have to put something in the corner. Depending on how tall we make the garage door, I would guess I'd do an 8-foot door. I might even do some sliding doors like this already has. I like the idea of a traditional garage door. It sort of moves out of the way. But this section here will all be sort of walled off and then extended. So we'll have, let's go back here. So we'll basically knock this wall out, drywall this all in, and then again create the sort of the garage door and wall this whole section off. So really, it shouldn't be all that difficult. The key to this section, and I'm being stingy here, is creating some sort of storage area. I'm struggling with this. I'm guessing I'm going to want a bigger storage area. So we can talk about this in a minute, but I'm a big symmetry guy, so I want the sort of, I want this door to be symmetrical to the sink and the window above the sink, and just sort of have the ability, when this door is open, I look right through the building. I can open up the window if I want to, but cabinets, I don't even know that I need all this storage. In fact, I know for a fact I don't need all the storage, but I just like cabinets and countertop, and I'm going to have an abundance of that in here. So the basic idea is that the washing stuff. This will be where I'll wash my hands, fill up my my bottle for soap. I'll have microfiber towels in here. I'll have this. I'll probably actually do some drawer storage. So I'll have my most of my detailing supplies and things like that in this section here, and then over here to the left is where I intend to do. These are where I'm going to put all my griot shelves. Most likely, I'll have enough of them where I'll have the shelves, on this, maybe the spray bottles on this wall, and then I'll have the other stuff, and I may even move this door over here to the corner. I don't think corner doors work very well, but I may move that over. I like the idea of the somewhat symmetry of having the exterior door and the door to the sort of the storage area here. And a lot of the things that I've drawn this area about 15 different times. Where another simple thing is I just put a doorway on here. I don't worry about climate, or I put a wall up here. I don't worry about climate controlling this area, and I just make this storage. I don't like that. I like having storage sort of sectioned off, and I just think it'd be really cool to have this so I can walk around, have this separated off. Maybe someday I don't have a trailer, but I've got this separate area to put crap, and you guys know me, I'm not going to put a bunch of crap in here. But this is a little odd, but when I think about knocking this building down and just doing it a little differently, just taking the garage and putting it over here on the property and just building a regular maybe 1,500 or 2,000 square foot garage. I just really, for whatever reason, this is really appealing to me, this whole setup, and maybe that'll change. But for now, I'm really excited about this sort of setup. And who knows, when I talk to the builder, when I get a little further down the road, maybe this isn't possible. So really the only thing I need to store are car parts. Like which is easy. I have some storage cabinets with some of the easy stuff like suspension parts and grills and just stuff that I swap. But I always like to keep my factory parts, so that way if I when I turn over my cars, I can put it back together. But I think I'm going to need a bigger room than this. So this is set up to where this is about 8 feet by whatever that is. My dimensions a little screwed up by 13 feet. So this is a little bigger than I'm thinking. But I have a doorway here. I would put a washer and dryer of some sort, my air compressor, my Kranzel built-in pressure washing system. I'm guessing it won't be a problem to put this here. You can just run the plumbing up over top. I'm hoping. I'm hoping also to put the air handler up above this area here. So I'm hoping that the air handler doesn't need to be in this room. I'd have my deionizing system, and then have some sort of cabinet storage in order to fit some of the stuff. The key is exhaust. Where the heck am I going to put because almost every car I swap out the exhaust. The Porsche's easy, you can just put it in the cabinet. So I figured, if I had a wall back here, I could kind of lean like my M3 exhaust or whatever other car I have. Um, I'm just not sure about this. Ultimately, what I should probably do, depending on cost, is I should probably just make this thing bigger. Or just make this a big old closet, then I can kind of do whatever I want with it. If I take this thing out here somewhere, if I move the air handler, I mean, I have the space. I just make a big old room, and I can do whatever I want. Put tons of cabinets, tons of storage, have everything I want here. So maybe I'll do that. But I think I'm liking this idea of building it off the back corner. Originally, I wanted it to be symmetrical with the walkway or the porch. But if we take a look at what this looks like, it's going to mess up my finish of the house because it just moves stuff. I think this needs to be. I need to change this to whatever that's crappy yellow. I'm probably going to paint the whole house. I don't know. We'll see what that costs. But see, I don't think it looks all that bad having this sort of sectioned off. Obviously, the roof is a little funky, but it looks as though I could make this whatever I want. Just build it out. So, as you're probably screaming at the screen here, I mean, how much room does one person need? I don't really need any of this, obviously, but I just don't like having stuff in the main area. I want this to be super clean, like my garage is now. And I'd like to do 14-foot ceilings, so I don't think I'm going to have a lot of attic space. The other thing I was considering doing was doing a 12-foot 12-foot ceilings, which appeals to me in many ways because of lighting's easier to control. I can hang things from the ceiling like compressed air, things like that. I haven't even gotten into lighting or running compressed air or any of that stuff. So my air compressor system is going to be more elaborate than just this little thing here. So now that I'm sitting here talking you through this, I'll probably work on designing this bigger like we just did. So yeah, I think making a bigger storage closet, it just makes sense to me. Then I don't have to worry about hoisting crap up into the attic, which would be kind of problematic. But look how easy this software is to mess with. So I think it's awesome. So if I wanted to shift my cabinets, put my cabinets however I want. Shoot, now I'm really starting to think here. Got enough cabinets to fit 50 times what I actually have, but maybe put a countertop here, little folding area for the microfiber towels. Yeah, now we're talking. I think I'll do that. So anyway, you guys probably think I'm crazy, but that's because I am. I mean, when you're in this deep, I mean, what would this cost to do? Another couple $1,000s. I mean, when you're in it 100 and something, what's another couple grand, right? Yeah, I like this idea of basically building a laundry / storage room. Where we would put, have an electrical panel in here, have exhaust, folding station. Yeah, I'm liking that. And again, I don't know that I'd need a folding station. I just carry everything out. Yeah, I just carry everything out here, use it, fold it somewhere else. So that's where I'm at on this section, which is considerably different than what we talked about before. But still the same basic concept. So the Kranzel built-in pressure washer, all the plumbing will feed out to the pressurized system. So all I'll have is a hose and a nozzle. The other thing I need to figure out, which I have some buddies who have emailed me some stuff on how to do this, but I'd want some sort of actuated system where I could push a button and switch from regular water to deionized water. So I think that's something that I need to figure out as well, and I just wonder if how difficult it will be to get plumbing. The current water line is over here, so water's not far away. I'm assuming I'm going to have to do septic. The other thing I'm going to have to figure out is drains for this area. I'm going to want to sort of drain the water out of here, or maybe repitch this so the water runs down this way. I would probably actually do Swiss Trax flooring in here as well. So these are all things to consider, things that as time goes on, I start thinking about this stuff and doing research, and then I come up with ideas. And the cool thing is I don't have this house yet, so I've got time to continue to sort of figure this out. And work my way through the design process. So the main section of the garage, again, I just mentioned that I think I'd like to do either 14-foot ceilings. I like the idea of having these having a massive array of cabinets. I added these transom windows up top here, where before I had windows here. I added up the cost of the cabinets, so that this whole setup was about 12 grand shipped. Actually, no, I think it was just shy of $15,000 shipped from Sabre. So with countertops and the whole thing, and the countertops will actually connect across here. I just don't know how to do that in the software. I'm not really sure. That I know I don't need this many. So this section would be the 6-drawer cabinets. This section would be the 4-drawer cabinets. I'd have an iMac or a Mac Mini or a monitor of some sort here, or here, or even just bring my laptop, have a laptop sort of workstation here. And just for doing and have it set up so that I can easily put it on the main screen. So when I'm working on something, if I'm doing a do-it-yourself project or something like that, I've got it here on the 80-inch or 70-inch screen, 78-inch screen. These will store my Rhino ramps and jacks and things like that. And I don't need a whole ton of this giant storage because I got drawer after drawer, or cabinet after cabinet of storage space to put stuff in. There are just a few big things that I can think of: jack stands, Rhino ramps, which I'm not going to use very much because I'm going to have the lift over here. But I'll still have all that stuff, and stuff that doesn't fit in the drawers I'll have in here. I'm going to take my Monitor Audio Gold reference that I have now, and I'm going to build a shelf for the GR Center. I'm going to get another sub. I don't know what I'll do. Maybe I'll get another DD15, or just take my JL sub and get another Gotham. I'd like to have matching subs, and I think for this space, 2 of them would be cool. And then I'll put probably 2 pairs of in-ceiling, and then I do have matching Monitor Audio Gold reference rears that I'll mount to the rear of the structure as well. So I'll probably do sort of a 9.1 setup of some sort. And most of the time I'd run it in multi-channel stereo, but just to fill the area. So this is another thing I've been really tossing around. Where do I want to put the lift? Now remember, this is going to be recessed, so this will be sort of cut into the ground. I really like the idea of let's say I took my BMW and I put it here on the lift. Most of the time, the car I'm going to be using the lift for detailing, so I can lift the car up, do the wheel wells, do the wheels, anytime I want. It's easier to polish the bottoms of the door. It'll be great. I can just throw it on the lift to get tar and stuff that inevitably gets under the car, that are on the the lower rocker panels, the lower areas of the car. Cleaning, addressing the tires. I'll probably throw this thing on the lift all the time. But you'll notice here, I think I've got plenty of space. Maybe you guys can add some input. I just like the idea of, I originally thought I'd put the lift right smack in the center, but I do like the idea of, if I got the car torn apart, I can leave it here, out of the way. I don't think I originally put it, let's see here, cancel that. I originally put it down here, but I don't want to mess with the entry doors. I would guess that this would be sort of my main parking area for my most used cars. The funny part is I got these 2 little cars in this giant space. Um, but I'm really liking the idea of putting the lift here. That way it gives me I've got, I can open up this door, which will be during the winter months. But I think that I have enough space. I think I've got plenty of space here. So we've got 5 feet to the wall. We've got roughly 5 feet here, and then 40 feet this way. So I think 5 feet around here, but again, I like symmetry, so I like the idea of having this lift centered on the 2 doors. Now the ceilings are going to be tall enough to where I'm going to be able to run the doors. I don't think I'm going to do roll-up doors like I talked about. I'll be able to run the doors right up the ceiling. So I don't think this interference here, I don't think the doors will have an issue, especially if I do 14-foot ceilings. So the lift is going to be recessed, and I'm thinking I'll put the lift station, how you actually jack the lift up here, over here in this corner. I don't think I want to hide that. I mean, I thought about putting it in a cabinet somewhere. I think it'd be kind of cool to have the lift station where you press the button to lift the car up or down here in this corner. I won't have anything in any of these other corners, so I think that would be kind of cool. The other option is I could put it over here on this wall. I think I want to leave this wall open for some sort of picture or something like that. So if we look at this in 3D, so you'd have the control unit here, and I can sit on a chair and work completely around the car. I could face the car rearwards or frontwards, or whichever way I wanted in order to, if I'm working on an exhaust or something. And if I needed to leave the car there for whatever reason, shouldn't be a problem. I can just let the car sit there and until whatever part comes, or till one of my buddies comes over and fix one of the problems that I've created. So that's my thought on the lift. I don't know if I had this before, but in my second video, but I did add a porch. So the intent here, this is looking pretty cool, is to have a porch very similar to the house. I think I talked about this in the last video. Actually, let's pull up the listing. Let's see, Woodgate, Lady Lake. Yeah, here we go. So I want the porch, I think, to look something similar to this. And my guess is, depending on how well I'm doing in the world, I'd like to paint this house. This just isn't our color, isn't our style. But this sort of idea, this theme where I want the garage to be an area where everybody can come hang out, and so I want to do something similar, door-wise and stone-wise. I'm sure this is expensive, but I'd like to do something like this to the exterior structure of the garage. Wrap this porch around, because this whole area here is where the kids' sort of play setup is going to be. And then ultimately what I'd like to do is a sport court back here when the kids get older, back on this section of the property. So I know I didn't design this like the rest of it doesn't look like the house looks now, but you get the idea, where you'll have this sort of wraparound porch. I just think that'd be really cool to have that, to make it look like, because the front of the house is here, so you drive in, and I basically want it to look like a house, where it doesn't look like a goofy garage that's just overtaking the property. So obviously this, I need to change the siding here. Every time you make an exterior dimension change, it messes with the exterior. It goes to whatever I set as the default. So this is the idea of the structure, the driveway. I'm not sure what we'll do with that, but I need to extend the driveway out. I want to have some concrete out here. There's some trees around here. I don't know. I'll probably trim back the trees. Obviously, there's a bunch of trees right here, so I need to take those trees out. But this is the thought process, the idea. This is my my dream at the moment. I'm guessing. We're talking about. I found the builder that I think I want to use. My guess is cost. So we've got what back here, this section, we've got about 400 square feet. Got another 2 something here. So I'm at like 2,400 square feet under air. And then this is another roughly 585 or 500, or just say 600 square feet. So we got about 3,000 square feet. I don't know what kind of adjustment we'd make for this existing structure. It's probably going to be more expensive to adjust to modify this structure than it would cost to just tear it down. We'll see, but so at 2,400 square feet, if we're doing $50 a square foot, I mean there are no walls or anything in here. It should be pretty basic. Let's say if I did Icynene and full on air conditioning the whole thing. Let's say I'm at $60 a square foot. If at 2,400, let's just say 3,000 square feet, I'm still shy of a couple hundred grand. I think my budget is probably 150. Is my that's sort of my mental budget. So we'll see how how close we get to that. Maybe I'll shrink it a little bit. You guys know me. I probably won't do that, but I just wait a little longer and save some more money. But the contents inside I don't have to have right away. So you got 10 grand worth of flooring, you got 15 grand worth of cabinets, and then probably let's say another 10 grand worth of stuff that I can add as time goes on. TV, I already have most of the speakers, I have the receiver, I have all that stuff. I'd probably do some audio outside on the patio, and certainly audio out here in the wash area, but maybe even some audio out front for when I host meetings here or host get-togethers. Because ultimately, what I think I want to do, or what I know I want to do, is do make this sort of Obsessed Garage world headquarters, if you will, and just have people over the house and do like a quarterly meet for crazies that are in the area. If you want to fly in and come hang out, so do plan ahead once a quarter or once every other month or something like that. I figure I can fit probably 500 cars on the property because it's relatively flat. So we could sort of have cool meets and hang out in the garage, and I can I don't know, that would be my dream, something that would be really cool to do. So anyway, that's where I'm at. I'm still going to do a video as I discover more products and more ideas. I found an air compressor guy, so I have some thoughts on that. And again, I've done a little research on the washing area and what that's going to look like. And the products that are going to be in there, but the vast majority of this is going to be very, very simple. I don't want a bunch of pictures on the wall. I don't want a bunch of crap everywhere. I want very simple, very organized, very well lit, and I need to start doing some research on lighting. I'll probably call one of my Renlist buddies about lighting options, but I don't want a bunch of crap in this garage, and that's why I think, and I think most of you would suggest this, I think I'm going to just talk to the builder about building a larger storage area. Maybe what I could do is do a closet inside of a closet. So I can do the unkempt looking stuff in here, like the exhaust and car parts and wheels and things like that, and the closet inside the closet. I don't know if that's necessary. I think that's the whole point of this, but of having a separate closet for stuff, because I won't have any junk in there anyway. So keep in touch. Let me know your thoughts. Obviously, this is the dream. I get that I'm super fortunate to be even discussing this, and having the option to do this someday. My guess is, my hope would be that I would do this, sometime next year. Um, but who knows? God willing, I'll be able to do this. And then after that, I just need to have, excuse me, I need to have a few more cars to put in this thing. So my my figure, my M3 and GT3 are going to get kind of lonely in here, and that, look at all this room I got to add car after car after car. I mean, there's 10 feet in between these two. I could probably replicate, have a car here, we could have another car here, so we could have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 6 comfortably, and then if you got put cars on rollers, you could probably fit. Actually, no, that's 8 comfortably, and then with the trailer on the other side, you could probably fit 2 cars. You could fit 2 cars back here. I'm okay with this being really tight, as long as I don't have to do tons of modifications to that lean-to. I'm okay with this, but may need to extend this out another foot or so to make sure we have room to fit the trailer. Um, but I'll talk to you more about the specifics of the trailer at some point when I get closer to that. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and I look forward to your input and thoughts on what I've come up with here.